Today on New England Living, we're exploring the great outdoors as we discover some of the region's best hidden gems. From the gardens and greenscapes of one of Metro West's most historic country estates to the woods of central New Hampshire for a one-of-a-kind camping experience. Plus, our Chef Series heads outside with tips on how to grill up the perfect pizza right in your own backyard. It all starts right now on New England Living. New England is full of adventure.
Up and away.
Wow, you just did your first takeoff.
You're part of my dream day right now. Join me as we discover the people and places that make us so unique.
This is it. You can't find it anywhere else in North America.
I mean, does it get any better than this? Love the place you call home with New England Living. Thanks for joining us today on New England Living. I'm your host, Rachel Holt. Coming up next, Waltham's historic Lyman estate boasts 37 acres of beautifully preserved gardens and one of the oldest surviving greenhouses in America. Our own Brianna Pitts tours the grounds of this grand country house with Historic New England's Barbara Callahan.
Barbara, this property is stunning. Tell me more about the Lyman estate.
The Lyman estate was built in 1793. It's a National Historic Landmark today and designed by a fairly prominent architect, Samuel McIntyre. They also designed the landscape at the same time so that they would complement each other. Whenever we're somewhere on the landscape, you can take a look back at the mansion and see that it's in this very picturesque view. And same thing when you're in the mansion, you look out one of these many windows, you can get a beautiful view of the grounds.
Tell me more about just the house itself as we look at it. What style of architecture of this? How old is the house?
We're talking about right before 1800, so this is the federal period of America. This period architecture is very into neoclassicism, so thinking about ancient Greece, ancient Rome. Elements like symmetry, how the left and right perfectly complement each other, this sort of simplicity and elegance, even in a grand estate like this, were very prominent features of that style.
Can see what you're talking about there with the columns and that Greek influence. How about the inside of the home? Because that is really unique as well.
So that's reflected inside as well, and a few of the rooms actually completely retain Samuel McIntyre designs. But over the course of its history, of these 4 generations of Lymans, the architecture of the house and the design has changed over time. So you get a sense of a variety of time periods when you walk into the house, but still with this sort of elegance and simplicity overlaying throughout the experience.
So each family member put their little stamp on it.
Exactly, and they were living in different time periods with different styles, so they were accentuating those in their own home here.
Lots to see outside and inside as well. What are some of the highlights?
So for me and for a lot of visitors to the estate, the ballroom is a particular highlight. It's a unique space showcasing how the first generations of the Lyman family were entertaining in a large house like this. Another favorite is the library. It's a very intimate space in the house with family portraits and beautiful 19th century tiles around the fireplace.
And one of the coolest things about this is that there's multiple ways to see the property.
So one of the best ways to really experience the Lyman estate on a beautiful day like this is to just walk around the grounds.
Well, we have 40 acres here, so we should probably get going.
Yes, let's do it.
How big is the estate? It seems massive.
The original estate at its peak was actually 400 acres, so much, much larger than we experience today. Historic New England has 37 acres with the Lyman estate.
Okay, and what exactly is on the 37 acres? I mean, there's so much to see here. It's not just the house.
Of course, the house is taking up a small percentage of that. So we have these garden area that we're in right now. And then of course, historically, this was farmland as well. So we have the greenhouses, old farming structure remnants, and an additional tree-lined paths past this wall of the property.
I imagine it takes quite the crew to keep this place running, right? With all of the plants here and the landscaping to be done?
Absolutely. So we have a fantastic landscaping staff, and in addition to volunteers like the Massachusetts Master Gardeners, but historically this land would have been taken care of by farm and garden staff. So maybe over 100 workers over the 150-year history either call this place home or utilize it as a workspace.
And we're along this really cool brick wall right now, and there's a story behind the wall too, right?
A lot of people mention the wall. It's a feature that really stands out on the property. And it was actually built very close to the time frame of the house, and it's 400 feet, and this is the original wall. We call it a peach wall because the Lymans installed peaches along the wall and pinned them up to get warmth from the brick. Historically and today, there is a mix of native species and imported species. And we follow along with the historic documentation of photographs and maps and drawings of which plants were here, which trees were planted where, and then we replicate that as best we can so that we can retain the historic integrity of the property.
That's really cool. So you make sure that it looked the same or at least similar to what would have been here hundreds of years ago.
Exactly. So the Lyman Estate is one of historic New England's 38 properties throughout the region. On site here, we have additional historic New England staff working in the preservation carpentry workshop that's actually housed here in the Lyman Estate carriage barn.
Oh, wow. This building right over here.
Yes, this building right here. And they'll work on projects for the Lyman Estate and also for those other properties in New Hampshire or Connecticut, etc.
What kind of preservation work happens in there?
So some of the restoration work they do there is restoring properties, doors, maybe windows, steps. They might be working on a repainting project or some other historic preservation techniques when we're trying to retain as much of the historic integrity of the property as possible.
Something that people might not even realize is that this is one of the oldest greenhouses in the country.
It is. The first one was built in 1804, and it was the grape house right behind us. Part of the structure of the greenhouse is that it houses historic plant collections, like those grapes, like our camellias. It's also used for plant sales, and that expands during the warmer months. But you can come here even in January, December, and be surrounded by life inside the greenhouse.
People who come in and visit the greenhouse, what are kind of the reactions from people? Because there's a lot of exotic plants in there that you wouldn't normally get to see, right?
Sure, you can turn the corner and you see a pineapple, or you can see some palm trees. Again, if you're seeing that in winter, it can be kind of dramatic. You get a lot of positive reception.
It's so peaceful inside, really. It's so tranquil in the greenhouse, I think.
It does feel like it's just you and the plants. And if you're at a quiet day on the grounds, it can also be this kind of immersive experience where it's you and the garden. And folks can come in most days of the week into the greenhouse, and then on the property and the landscape itself, they're welcome to come dawn to dusk. So we see folks having picnics, we see them walking their dogs, sort of using this as a neighborhood backyard, and we love it.
Coming up after the break, we're heading out on another adventure, this time to explore the great outdoors in style with the ultimate off-road camper van experience. When New England Living returns after this. Welcome back to New England Living. I'm Rachel Holt. Up next, Brianna Pitts returns as she heads off the grid to Canterbury, New Hampshire for the ultimate camping experience with Mike and Susie Patrick, co-founders of Walden Camper Vans.
Mike and Susie, we are here in central New Hampshire. We have our campsite set up and the incredible camping vans behind us here. Talk to me about how you started this company.
We started in really the heart of the pandemic in 2020 of December. And it really came out of a desire to get our family just back outside and adventuring. We'd always flirted with the idea of doing a camper van, but at the time, our daughter was 3 and we couldn't find a camper van with 3 seats. So we decided to work with a custom builder to build a family van of our own. And as we were going through that build process, we just realized there's really a huge lack of camper van options in the Northeast in general. They're very prolific on the other coasts, but on this coast, at the time especially, there was just a real lack of options. So from a business opportunity, it seemed like a really interesting thing to be able to share with other people. So we decided to jump with the opportunity.
What is off-grid camping, if we could just get into the nitty-gritty of that?
Yeah, I mean, great question. So, I mean, your traditional RV or traditional camper is gonna need, generally a water hookup and a power hookup. Whereas all of our rigs are designed to be off-grid, for which us means they don't require a constant water hookup and they don't require a constant power hookup. So all of our vans have very large power banks. They're charged via solar on the roof, and then they're also charged whenever you're driving the van. So you kind of operates like a hybrid in a way. And then our vans also have just shy of 30 gallons of fresh water on board. So between not having to be constantly hooked up to power and water, it really frees you up in terms of where you can stay. Another big advantage, the van behind us is only 20 feet long. So you're basically a foot longer than a Chevy Suburban. So it's really, really easy. Park in a standard parking spot, get around and maneuver very easily. So if you're on a road trip from Boston up to Bar Harbor, if you want to swing into Portland and grab some food, street park, that's not a problem. So it really frees you up from a traditional RV.
You're not worrying about learning how to drive and park an RV.
Exactly, which is really important because a big portion of our guests, right now it's about 70 to 80% of our guests have never done anything like this before. So the approachability aspect of it is really important.
Speaking of the van behind us, tell us a little bit more about it, because each van has a unique name and kind of a specific style and theme too.
All of our vans basically are inspired by different parts of New England. So the van behind us, Walden, is really inspired by Waltham Pond and Henry David Thoreau's time there. So the way we designed this one, just to really make you feel like you're at a cabin in the woods. And we have other vans that are inspired by the rocky coast of Maine that bring in some blues and some different colors. So each van or each vehicle that you rent from us is special and unique.
It feels elevated too, and I'm guessing that was a goal of yours. These are a really nice place to sleep. It's not just, any sort of van.
For sure. I mean, a big objective of this was to not only get people who are already camping out camping, but to also pull people in who wouldn't typically consider a camping experience. Yeah, so there you go.
A lot of our guests are first-time campers too. So, we're really trying to embrace that and make everyone feel at home, like they have everything that they need to be successful and have a really great time.
All the vans they come fully outfitted with everything you could possibly need, from your cooking to your camp chairs to the camp table. Really all you have to bring is just a bag of clothes and go grocery shopping and you're good to go. So from an approachability standpoint, both the size and how it's outfitted, it's really just geared to get people out in nature with as little friction as possible, to make it as easy as possible.
There's another space to get outside of the van that's really unique too.
Yes, that's one of our favorite spots in the van. All of our vans have roof decks, so you're able to go up on the roof deck at night, do some stargazing, watch the sunrise or sunset. It's one of our favorite places to go in the van.
It's very comfortable, especially when you're camping and you're in the middle of nowhere, so it's quiet. Kids love to be in it. The four-seater one that you can access from inside the cabin. This one has a ladder that you can climb up.
What are some of the unique camping opportunities that a Walden camper van opens up for you?
Typically in the Northeast, traditional campgrounds are really the hub for camping. But in the past couple years, there's been a few opportunities that have really opened up new camping opportunities, one of which is Hip Camp. So we're at a beautiful Hip Camp, pitch perfect in Canterbury, New Hampshire right now. And if you're not familiar with Hip Camp, it's essentially like Airbnb for camping, whereby private landowners can rent out portions of their land to campers, which is fantastic. And it's one of our favorite ways to camp. It really opens up a much more off-grid, just private camping experience. Most of the Hip Camps are not set up to accommodate for power supply or water supply, whereas that's perfect for us because our vehicles are designed to be off-grid. They don't need the power supply, they don't need the water supply, so it's a perfect marriage between the two.
So we also offer trip planning. So if you're not familiar with Hip Camps and Harvest Hosts, that's okay. We know many of them and we have relationships with them, and so we're happy to help you plan that trip. We really just need to know where you want to go and what your ideal trip is, and we're happy to help.
Yeah, because it's such an important part of, yes, you can have the best camping rig possible, but unless you can marry that with a great camping site, the experience might fall apart. So it's really important for us, for our guests, to be able to offer that complimentary trip planning so that, yes, you can stay in a fantastic rig, but you can also stay in an amazing campsite.
So helpful for first-time campers too, who don't know, right? Which you said is a lot of the people who are interested in the vans.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more than half of our audience right now are our customers. I've never done anything like this before, so.
Like a camping concierge.
There you go.
Let's talk about the campsite. That's really important, right? And the setup too. And I was so surprised at how quickly you guys got this together because it looks so elaborate and beautiful, but it's fast.
Yeah, it takes only maybe 5-10 minutes to really get set up like this. And if you do a lot of the preparation and food prep before, it's that much quicker once you want to get your fire going and start the meal.
Yeah, being able to kick off your campsite and not have to get a tent set up and all that other stuff, just being able to swing open your door and be at camp. You spend more time enjoying the camping experience than trying to prep for it or get things set up, which is a huge part of it.
One of the hassles with camping is sometimes you almost have to bring a lot of stuff from home. But with this, you don't have to drag your kitchen along with you.
No, the van is fully outfitted with everything you need to make a campfire meal. So you have your kitchen utensils, your forks, your knives, your plates. The fridge can fit quite a bit. So you really can have all of your drinks, all of your meals prepared.
And then beyond the kitchen, there's a whole other host of other items on board. So you also have an heated outdoor shower system. So if you need to rinse off during the day after a long hike or rinse off your dog, you can use the outdoor shower in the back, which also comes with a little pop-up privacy tent, so you're able to rinse off outside. Then also a nice little welcome and amenity kit that comes with cleaning supplies that you might need for your dishes, body wipes if you just need a quick rinse off. Again, really just try to think of everything from a holistic perspective of how we can make sure your camping experience is great.
I know the two of you are really passionate about the outdoors and camping. What does it feel like to kind of share that and spread that with people and get more people into camping?
Yeah, I mean, so from day one, when we really kind of set up the mission for the company, it was really to bring people closer to the wonder of nature and each other. And for us, that mission has really informed everything that we do, from the way that we outfit our vans to the way we communicate to the effort we put into the guest experience, just to making sure people have a positive outdoor adventure.
Coming up right after the break, chef, author, and TV personality Joe Gatto shows us how to cook up the perfect pizza on an outdoor grill when New England Living returns after this. Welcome back to New England Living. Up next, Michaela Johnson and Chef Joe Gatto fire up the outdoor kitchen for a lesson in cooking up the ultimate grilled pizza.
Joe Gatto is a private chef, culinary instructor, author, and host of the cutting-edge cooking show From Scratch, highlighting his adventures in food and the people behind it. With a big personality and an even bigger passion for scratch cooking, Chef Joe Gatto is quickly taking the culinary world by storm.
We're here at the Clark Sub-Zero and Wolf showroom with a chef who is sharing his love of scratch cooking with us right now, Chef Joe Gatto.
Woohoo! I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very excited to share homemade pizza.
I love pizza, and I like that you're showing us how to make it at home. I feel like it's a staple or a big takeout option for a lot of people, but we forget that we can make this.
Yeah, and this is really fun because you can order a pizza out, right? And it will probably be good, but making a pizza at home, you're sharing and making a memory, which I think is super important. So we're gonna make the cheese from scratch, which is really fun. Not something you have to do, but really fun. So we start with mozzarella curd, okay? When you're doing this, what would happen is you'd milk the cow, then you'd bring it back to the cheese shop and you'd add rennet, which separates the curd and the whey, just like the nursery rhyme, right? Curds and whey. And then this gets pressed and you end up with this, okay, which is curd.
And that does not look like the mozzarella that we're used to because that's really crumbling right now.
It's very crumbling. So to do this, to make the cheese, we need to introduce hot salted boiling water. This is like seawater salted because that's what's going to infuse it with flavor, and it's also going to change the texture. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise the temperature of the mozzarella by adding in this boiling hot water. So now I'm just going to start stirring it, and you'll see that it will immediately start to change. It looks like it's melting, but it's cooking.
Oh yeah, wow.
Right? So it starts to get glossy and it starts to be able to be pulled, which is what we're looking for. So we have to keep working it in this hot water. It's really getting to that point where we're going to start working it because you see that? See how it's already changing? Okay, so now we're really getting there. Right, I'm gonna hand it to you.
All right.
And just pull it nice and slow.
We got a good one?
That's good. That looks great.
Oh, we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, keep going, wingspan.
Wow!
The fun of food, the fun of food.
So this really doesn't take much in terms of ingredients and materials. It seems like it'd be fun even for the whole family to get involved in this.
Super easy. You do this at a party, you're a rock star. So right here, I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna squeeze it. And then twist and I get these little guys. And we're gonna use these for the pizza. So squeeze it, twist, just that easy.
So the mozzarella is all in balls right at the top, and now you have a new ingredient on the table here.
Let's welcome Doe to the table.
Hey, Doe.
Hi, Doe. He's so nice. All right, so this is pizza dough. Making pizza dough at home is so easy and it's so worthwhile. So what we don't want to do here, Michaela, is use a rolling pin.
Why is that?
Because we don't want to roll out all these bubbles and all that air in there. So doing it by hand, we're going to get those nice pockets. You can see some already, right? And then we're going to pick it up. We use our knuckles, right? We can throw it up in the air if we want at this point.
Go ahead.
You really wanted to?
Why not?
This could be a disaster. Let's see. All right, ready? Because it's so gooey. All right, ready?
Yay!
All right, so not too shabby.
Now
not too
we're
shabby.
making pizza.
So now I have this all ready. And what we have to do is we need to load this up onto a pizza peel. If you don't have a pizza peel at home, baking sheet, anything like that,
sure.
You can bake it in the oven if you want. We're gonna do it on the baking steel in the grill, so it'll be really fun. So I'm gonna take my pizza peel and I'm gonna put some flour on it. And then we're gonna take the pizza and transfer it over. So we have to shimmy it to make sure that there's flour underneath, so when we build the pizza and we launch it, that it doesn't fall all over the place.
Sure.
So now we have it here. I'm gonna put on my pizza sauce.
Now I'm guessing you made that from scratch, knowing your love of scratch cooking.
This is San Marzano's, a little Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Really simple. The key to this guy is don't cook it. The whole idea is we want this fresh, acidic flavor on top of this crunchy crust with the gooey cheese we just made. So I shimmy it again to make sure that we don't flip it when we launch it. Now I have the grill up to 500 with the baking steel because we want this to cook really fast, 4 to 6 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We want all this to cook together and become one. Good times are coming. Good times are coming.
And after just a few minutes on the grill, our pizza is good to go.
You ready?
Let's do this.
Let's grab this bad boy. Woohoo!
Wow, that looks good.
Right? That is what I'm talking about.
So while this is cooling, I would love to hear more about your background, your passion for cooking. You love cooking from scratch.
I really do. Look, this pizza's awesome. Recipes are awesome, but food is so much deeper for me. It has such a meaning. It connects people, the history, the culture. When I share this with you, there's a lot of history in this, right? From sharing it with my kids, getting recipes from my grandmother. So that's what food's really about, and from scratch is definitely a part of it.
Well, this looks good enough to eat.
Right? This is a beast, and I'm very excited. So I want to slice this up and just let you taste it. Okay?
It's got a nice crunch as
Yeah,
you slice it.
this is, right? So we want to check that bottom, right? Ooh, right? That's exactly how it should look. So we'll cheers and taste.
Okay.
All right, let's see how we did.
Fantastic.
Great chew. The sauce, see how bright and acidic that is? With that creamy mozz. This is what it should taste like. And we have those nice big bubbles that we're looking for, see on the side?
Yeah, definitely.
Got all this nice aeration. So yeah, happiness.
Well, this is fantastic, Joe. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For the full recipe and for more chef segments, go to newenglandliving.tv.
Woohoo.
Thanks for joining us today on New England Living. For more on the show or anything you've seen here today, visit us at newenglandliving.tv and follow us on social media. I'm Rachel Holt. See you next time on New England Living.